was supposed to be their last hope, the boy who defied fate.
But tonight, Boruto Uzumaki, he is in the process of dying. Jura, the monster born from the Ten Tails, emotionless and godlike, he isn't even trying. He's not fighting Boruto, he's studying him. He's breaking him down slowly and deliberately. Every attack Boruto throws at him is swatted away like an insect's bite. Every move anticipated, every ounce of resistance, it is pointless.
And then he arrived.
Kawaki, the boy modeled by hate, wielding the full, terrifying power of Ishiki Otsutsuki, has returned to the battlefield, not to reason, not to negotiate, but to obliterate. This isn't a reunion. It's not redemption. It is a declaration of war. Join me for today's newest review for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 23, because this chapter is forever changing the shinobi world. So we open up the chapter with a change of scenery. Mitsuki has managed to take down all the remaining claw grimes on the battlefield while in Sage mode, impressively protecting an unconscious Sarada as he does so. And just as he wraps up the battle, he's joined by Konohamaru, who is carrying Matsuri's Thorn Soul Bulb, desperate to get away. However, as Mitsuki scoops up Sarada, Konohamaru is quickly brought up to speed by his pupil, being told that Araya went to Shinki's location so that he can use the Thorn Soul Bulb that was gained when Sarada blew up Ryu to save Shinki, and then use Shinki to save Gaara, which presumably afterwards means they'll take Yodo's dead body back to the Sand Village to be buried. Konohamaru remarks that her loss wasn't in vain then, since it means they did manage to get the Thorn Soul Bolt back to save their Kazekage. It's a somber reminder that lives were lost so that a small glimpse of hope could be given to Tsunagakure. Konohamaru then tells Mitsuki how Boruto saved him, but when he did so, it brought Jura to the battlefield, and Konohamaru, with his brilliant 2000 level IQ, deduced that killing Boruto is a greater priority for Jura than getting his comrade's Thorn Soul Bulbs back, which is such an obvious observation that 12-year-old Naruto would have put down the glue he was eating and came to the same conclusion. But what this does is give us a stark reminder of yet again how things have changed. For Konohamaru, he didn't leave behind his student to face Jura. He basically left an enemy of the state. As far as he's concerned, they can kill each other off and save Konoha the trouble, which is why he shoots down Mitsuki's suggestion to support Boruto in the battle with Jura. This leads to Konohamaru stating that they must go back to their original rendezvous point where they met the Sand Village ninjas when they first arrived, stating that Boruto requested this and that they have to trust Boruto as a plan. As this is going on, we see Boruto staring down Jura, who's standing there aura farming, hands in his pocket with the most immaculate drip ever, like it was part of the Cloud collection from Nan America. This video is being brought to you by Nan America, which is now officially my new favorite place to get high quality anime drip. Their products range from rings to necklaces, bracelets, pendants, to earrings of your favorite anime series. It doesn't matter if you're into gold, sterling, silver, or titanium, because they've got you covered. And with us being a Naruto channel, you know I had to check out their Akatsuki products. I got my hands on 3 pieces from their Cloud collection, and as someone who is into jewelry, I'm giving it a Kage level cosign, because not only does it look gorgeous, but it's high quality, and most importantly, as someone with sensitive skin, it more than passes the test to earn my highest vote of confidence. Right away, the gold rope chain and gold pendant from the Cloud collection stood out because it became immediately clear this was made with love by a true anime fan. The hand finished edge detailing, the way that the Akatsuki Cloud just grabs your attention right away. Best of all, it is 3 microns of 18 karat gold, which is 3 times the industry standard, at a very affordable price, which is made even more affordable by clicking my link in the pinned comment and description box and using my promo code Boruto to get 20% off your order. This immediately became my favorite piece of jewelry since I wear a lot of dark colors and the sexy design grabs your eye, something my buddy Howard made clear when he tried the jewelry on for me. I also got the Cloud necklace, and this one should make you pop if you know your Naruto lore, because it has exactly 10 Cloud motifs on the necklace, 1 for each member of the core Akatsuki. It has titanium alloy base, so no need to worry about green skin or allergies. I also got the Cloud bracelet, which this one has 5 Cloud motifs and an adjustable fit. The products all came with a leather travel pouch and custom order box. However, you'll need to click my link in the description box and pinned comment and use my promo code Boruto to get 20% off your order so you can buy them before they sell out. So you want to hit that link faster than a flying Raijin. Boruto's battle with Jura, it just took another turn for the worse because as Konohamaru has been running to safety, Boruto's being used as target practice, getting Bijudama shot into his body, just barely missing vital spots, and Jura has Boruto fleeing as a result, trying to put distance between himself and Jura, but he can only go so far before Jura spots him hiding on a cliff, and as he begins to take flight, we see just how much Jura's been playing with Boruto. He's been merely testing out how he uses Bijudama, changing the size and the shapes of them, practicing scatter shots and sniper style attacks, basically using Boruto as a training module for his attacks, and this leads to Boruto going on alert because Jura is on the move now. Within seconds, he's in the air preparing another Bijudama to shoot off from his Rinnegan, but Boruto takes to the skies again, not even attempting to fight back. The only thing on his mind right now is survival and waiting for the right moment to show itself for a counterattack because his enemy is too strong to fight head up. Boruto begins to zip around the air in one gorgeous set of paneling that looks like it's straight out the Dragon Ball manga with how well Ikimoto paneled this whole sequence, showing Boruto curving in midair, avoiding the Bijudama, throwing a kunai at Jura, the kunai following the trajectory of the speed lines as Jura is preparing that next Bijudama. Hopefully we see more of the flight aspect being introduced into the series because as a Dragon Ball fan, flight took Dragon Ball to another level and Boruto could benefit from the 360-degree aspect of aerial battles because this is one area where Ikimoto blows Naruto series creator Masashi Kishimoto out the water because what little flight Kishimoto tried in Naruto, to be blunt, it left a lot to be desired. Jura, as you would expect, isn't being fazed by the kunai. He just outright disregards it, probably reading in a book somewhere that outside of Momoshiki destroying Sasuke's Rinnegan, kunai, they are just as useless as Amaterasu, but that arrogance, it cost him for a moment. Boruto secretly marked his kunai with the flying Raijin to teleport to it and draw his sword, this time attempting to get Jura from the blind side, but he quickly has to adjust to Jura's actions. He releases his sword from his grip as Jura goes in for what appears to be a killing jab, and Boruto quickly uses flying Raijin to teleport to the same sword that just fell in order to avoid being skewered, which in Ninja Heaven, Minato's coming up with the long ass name for the move that Boruto just came up with. The brilliance of Boruto, it continues to shine as now that he's got the sword back, he moves to cut Jura's foot off from the top of the calf muscle on down, but all this does is make Jura state that he did a good job, almost like an adult giving a small child a sticker for saying their ABCs, and this leads to Boruto trying to engage with Jura head up, and he quickly realizes that he's outmatched. As Boruto struggles against Jura's assault, Jura grabs hold of his hand that has the sword and he prepares another point blank Bijudama, which shows off his intelligence. Due to Boruto's lack of skill with the flying Raijin, he has to make the hand sign for concentration with both of his hands in order to teleport. By grabbing one hand, he's preventing Boruto from doing so, but Jura didn't get the memo. This manga isn't called Jura 2 Blue Vortex. It's called Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Boruto shows how skilled he is as a shinobi by doing something that only the most elite shinobi can do, as established in Naruto's manga. He weaves the hand signs with one hand for the purple lightning at full power to shock Jura at point blank range to stop the Bijudama from forming, showing that for as much as Boruto still has room to grow with flying Raijin, for a jutsu like purple lightning, he's mastered it enough to be able to perform it with one hand, making him an elite shinobi. However, all this running around has exhausted Boruto to the point Jura is mocking him for his sluggish movements because Boruto is constantly holding his side where Jura shot him with that Bijudama. The internal injuries, they appear to be getting worse with every movement. It's a wonder that Boruto's even still standing at this point, even accounting for him setting aside chakra for stamina purposes. This causes Jura to shift things into another gear, giving up his pursuit of trying to kill Boruto with the Bijudama, but instead going for the good old-fashioned beatdown, throwing hands, which means that if this was a video game, Jura was just trying to get the win under the special conditions in order to get the bonus prize for beating the floor boss. Meanwhile, Konohamaru has led Mitsuki and the unconscious Sarada back to the rendezvous point, but there is nobody there, leaving them baffled. If they were expecting Boruto to show up, he's too busy literally getting tossed around the battlefield by Jura, and it doesn't take too long before Jura gets tired of doing this, and he tries to nuke Boruto with another Biju Dama, but Boruto manages to fly away into the air to escape. But just as Boruto thinks he's gotten away, Jura pops up behind him, and Boruto quickly tries to hack him with his sword, but Jura not only blocks it, but he hits Boruto with enough force that it chips away at the sword that Sasuke gave him, an indication that Boruto's stamina is beginning to fall, and his skill with the sword, it is beginning to dip because of exhaustion. Classic samurai trope being put on display here. Jura quickly kicks Boruto across the battlefield again, leaving him on the verge of unconsciousness, and the beatdown gets to the point that Ada declares she can't watch this anymore because it is clear Boruto's about to die. And then that's when it happens. Kashin Koji's hands, they go to his head as a new vision with 10 directions comes in, and we learn that Kashin Koji can't control 10 directions, the power he got from Shibai's DNA, the way that Damon can with reflection, or Code can do with his claw marks, or Ada can do with her Senrigan. His pupils, they begin to change, and Kashin Koji tells Ada he's getting another vision of an updated timeline, the first time in almost a week, which means that what Kashin Koji told Boruto in the past, it has happened. When changes get made to a path he saw with 10 directions, Kashin Koji retains knowledge of that path that no longer exists, but all his planning means nothing now because a new future is being made and he doesn't see the timeline branch until it's created. So what did Kashin Koji see? He sees Jura, Inojin, and Himawari. They're the first things he saw. But as more begins to come into focus, we suddenly cut back away to Boruto versus Jura, with Jura preparing to kill the now unconscious Boruto. Jura in this moment is taking absolutely zero chances, noting that Boruto, even while unconscious, is holding on to Sasuke's sword, which has to bring a tear to your eye, given when Sasuke was defeated by Code, he was still holding on to his sword despite being unconscious. Jura takes to the sky, preparing to shoot off another Biju Dama, wanting to blow Boruto to bits, but then suddenly Kawaki's chakra rods get slammed through the back of Jura's skull and through his eye socket, with Kawaki in a new outfit rocking the Konoha headband as his belt buckle, with darker colors than before, which is very important to take note of. As Ikimoto said in 2024 back in France, the clothing of characters is intentional because it reflects both the personality and the character arcs, like how every item on Boruto's jacket is a memento to someone dear to him, but also is marked with the flying Raijin marker, and how Sarada's outfit was meant to show her loyalty to Boruto and Sasuke. Kawaki went from the white jacket and some dark colors to now wearing a dark jacket and fewer light colors, showing the transition from light to dark is beginning right as he has gotten Ishiki's power unlocked. And it's not just Ishiki's power, but as he told Amato, he wanted to use scientific methods as well as anything else, which means possibly Shibai cells, in order to get strong enough to kill Jura. So basically think of it as Kawaki had his power level as it was previously. He then got all of Ishiki's power added to it, and then he got scientific enhancements and some other stuff done to him in order to raise his attack power. If he's a video game character, think of that bar just gradually expanding rapidly. Or let's have some real fun with it, right? Like if you're a Pokemon fan like me, basically think of Kawaki as being a Pokemon and Amato is the Pokemon trainer, and instead of training Kawaki, he just fed him a bunch of rare candies in order to level him up very fast. This leads to Kawaki being shown in Kashin Koji's new 10 directions, along with Sarada fighting Hidari yet again, and Kashin Koji realizes that Boruto went behind his back and told Kawaki about Amato placing limiters on his power, and based on Koji's reaction, the timeline change, it might have more than one effect, but he clearly didn't want Kawaki to have Ishiki's power, and yet that move by Boruto resulted in Kawaki saving Boruto. So we are now on a new timeline path that Kashin Koji never accounted for. As this is going on, Delta communicates with Kawaki that Mitsuki, Sarada, and Konohamaru, they are safe, and the battle with Kawaki versus Jura, it immediately ramps up. In the blink of an eye, Kawaki has slammed chakra rods into Jura's body as he's turned around, with Kawaki keeping one giant chakra rod, just like we see in that flash forward sequence of Boruto Part 1. Kawaki is now using that as his primary weapon. Jura quickly tries to counter by shooting off a Bijudama, which explodes in the distance, and it begins to wake Boruto up. As Jura is taking the chakra rods out his body, Boruto and Kawaki, they go into a bit of a banter back and forth about Kawaki asking Boruto when he's going to get off of his ass, and Boruto giving a snarky remark as Jura is watching as Kawaki cuts on his karma seal, powering up to face him, and Jura is left stunned, asking how Kawaki improved so much in this short period of time, because the last time he faced Kawaki, he left him cosplaying Sleeping Beauty over by the water tank after 2 hits, and somewhere Code is going, "I told you so," because in chapter 15, Code directly asks, "Why aren't you hunting Otsutsuki? You monsters have one job, consume Otsutsuki," and Jura basically said, "I'm going on side quests right now. I can capture them whenever I want to. You go kill Boruto, make yourself useful." Well, that's come to bite Jura in the rear end now. Kawaki is well aware that Boruto has the inability to use karma, wanting Boruto to grab his balls and man up while he fights Jura, because if Momoshiki takes over Boruto's body, Kawaki states he won't hesitate to kill this weakened Boruto, which leaves us with Kawaki using karma in the basic version 1 state in order to battle Jura, who is charging forward faster than you can click here to check out the other videos from the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter review playlist, or you can click here on the right to check out videos from my other 2 anime channels, Anime Explained and Everything One Piece Explained.